Hello everyone, hope you are well. I wanted to continue on my legend series, and today I wanted to give Alan Davidson of Australia, who was a great all rounder in his times and who was also regarded as the finest left arm bowler in the history of cricket until obviously Wasim Akram came. He was born June 14th, 1929, in New South Wales in Australia, and he played 44 test matches and he took 186 wickets at an absolutely stunning average of 20.53, and he had 14 9 wicket hauls and he had two 10 wicket hauls in test cricket. He also scored around 1300 runs in test cricket. In first class cricket he scored more than 6800 runs, and he scored 900s as well in first class cricket, and he took 672 wickets in first class cricket as well. So obviously scoring a lot of runs and taking a lot of wickets in test and first class cricket as well. He is the first player in test history to take more than 10 wickets or more and also score 100 runs in the same test match. I have mentioned this once before when I put videos on Ian Botham, Imran Khan, and Imran Khan as well. After Alan Davidson, Imran Khan, Ian Botham, and Shakibul Hasan of Bangladesh, three of them have done this. Only four people have done this ever in Test cricket. But Alan Davidson didn't score 100. It was 100 runs together in a Test match. But the three of the rest of them did score a century and take 10 wickets in a Test match. And Alan Davidson, he was a big player for Australia in the 1950s and 1960s. And I had also mentioned about him in my video for Richie Benaud, that Richie Benaud and Alan Davidson is credited for Australia's comeback into the top of Test cricket after the slump in the 1950s. He was a left-handed batsman and a left-handed bowler, did both left-handed, and he had a classical action as a left armer, and he used to get a lot of late swing, and he did swing the ball a lot and trouble batsmen a lot with his action. And he was also very good with his control. He had excellent control over his bowling, and in his whole career he actually conceded less than 2 runs per over, which is a astonishing achievement. And in that 1960-61 tour of India and Pakistan combined, the subcontinent tour, in the second test at Kanpur, when it was a very dry pitch and really unfavorable for fast bowling and very hot as well, he took 5 for 31 in India's first innings when he bowled. And when Australia batted, he also scored 41 runs in Australia's first innings. And in the second innings, he actually took 7 for 93 against India at Kanpur in the second innings, and the heat was about 38 degrees, they say. And after the match, the Australians said that it was the harshest cricket environment they had ever encountered in their life. And on that, in that environment, on that pitch that was not favorable for fast bowling at all, like I'm just repeating, he took 5 for 31 in the first innings and 7 for 93 in the second innings. So basically taking 12 wickets in the test match, which is his best bowling ever. And Australia had a tough series win. They won 2-1 at a hard-fought test series win over India. And Alan Davidson actually took 29 wickets in that series at an average of just 14.86. And that is crazy. And when I said about his test career, I said he had an average of 20.53. All the great bowlers that I've covered in this legend series, there is no one who has a better average bowling wise than Alan Davidson. Malcolm Marshall was, I think it was 20.93 was the lowest average. So 20.53 is an absolutely stunning bowling average for a bowler. And I don't think anyone that I will cover will be having an average less than that. It must be a record for someone who has at least close to 200 test wickets. And as a left-handed batsman, he used to hit a lot of sixes. I've heard in commentary box, Richie Benaud, Ian Chappell, a lot of people talking about the long sixes that Alan Davidson used to hit while batting. He has hit some of the bigger sixes in Australia. He was a really hard-hitting low-order batsman. And in that famous tied test against Australia, I had mentioned it in one of my videos, in that 1960-61 against Australia at the Brisbane, in the Brisbane test, the first test, it was a tie. And that is the match where Alan Davidson took 11 wickets in the test match and also scored more than 100 runs. That famous test match. In that match, West Indies looked like they were going to easily win the test match, but it was a big partnership between Richie Benaud and Alan Davidson that brought the match back into balance, and then later on it went in a dramatic tie, which was the first tie in Test cricket history. And Alan Davidson was a very fine rugby league player in his youth. He was a very talented youth player in his youth. And he started playing for Australia. When he started playing for Australia, Australia had an amazing pace attack with Ray Linwall and Keith Miller in the team as well. So it wasn't an easy time to get into the Australian team. But Alan Davidson was one of the youngest members of that Australian cricket team. He and Richie Benaud played a lot for Australia together. And Alan Davidson's nickname is actually Claw, C-L-A-W, Claw. And it was because he used to take some improbable catches, fielding at the catching positions nearby the field batsman. I mean, like silly point, short leg. I mean, the close-in catching positions. He used to take some astonishing, improbable catches, and that's why he was called the Claw. He got that nickname. He was a very good fielder as well. And obviously, being a opening bowler, he had a very good arm from the boundary. So he was well known for having a very good arm from the boundary line, and also being a very good fielder at the catching positions nearby the batsman. And he is still regarded, I mean, after Wasim, obviously he was the Wasim Akram of cricket before Wasim Akram came, left-arm bowler who used to swing the ball at good pace. Obviously, after Wasim Akram, he is still regarded as the second best left-arm bowler that ever played Test cricket. Obviously, Wasim Akram will be having that name, having that tag of being the best left-armer of cricket history. And after retirement, Alan Davidson did have a lot of positions as a board of directors in many organizations. He held the position in many organizations, sporting and non-sporting organizations. He was one of the board of directors, and he has had a very expansive business life after retirement as well. He was one of the greats of the Australian cricket team in that time, and he was very famous for a lot of things. Obviously, being an all-rounder as well, and obviously being unique as a left-armer as well. There wasn't a lot of left-armers, and he was also called David DAVO by a lot of close friends of his. So that is my video on Alan Davidson, who was regarded one of the greatest fast bowlers, fine fast bowlers of his time, and the greatest left-armer in the history of cricket at that point, before Wasim Akram came. And even now, together with Wasim Akram, after Wasim Akram, he is known as the second best left-armer that ever played cricket. He used to bowl left-arm, and he used to swing the ball very late, and someone who had absolute control over his bowling, and who was a very fine, hard-hitting lower-order batsman as well, hitting a lot of sixes. He has scored around 7,000 runs in first-class cricket, and he scored like 900s in first-class cricket as well. And he took 672 wickets in first-class cricket as well. And obviously, the main achievement of him being the first player ever in cricket history to do the double, which is take more than 10 wickets in a match and also score more than 100 runs in the same test match. He did that in that Brisbane tied test against West Indies. And he also has that stunning 20.53 averages, which is one of the most lowest averages of all fast bowlers that has played cricket. And he also has that record where he has only gone for less than 2 runs that he conceded in his overs over a span of his career. So that is my video on one of the greats of Australian cricket, Alan Davidson, who was regarded very highly even by Sir Don Bradman. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Hope it's some new information for you. Take care. Please take care, and God bless you.